Is everybody ready? I'd like to call the Town Board meeting of November 19, 2024 to order. Please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence to remember those who served our country in the past and for those who continue to protect our country today. Thank you. Please note that the emergency exits are the door you came in and the doors at the end of the hall and the doors behind us. Okay, at this point I'm going to invite Craig Wallace. Has a statement concerning a former employee.
Okay, thank you, Supervisor. I just wanted to bring the public up to speed with some allegations that were made at the last couple of meetings about a former employee named Greg Brown. I had an opportunity to go back into the record, and in October of 2017, then Supervisor Zuloff informed the board that an employee named Greg Brown was not being compensated for 4 hours a week for which he had worked. And it was indicated that Mr. Brown was working those hours, but we did not realize that he was subject to federal FLSA standards until it was brought to the attention of the board by the comptroller, who at that point in time, there was an internal audit done. And based on those facts, the town attorney at the time was Paul Ackerman, gave sound advice to the town that Mr. Brown was subject to the Federal Labor Standards Act, FLSA, and was not an exempt employee and was entitled to compensation. The town was advised that the town would be liable for 2 years if Mr. Brown pursued a claim with the Department of Labor, possible penalties and possible damages. The FLSA is a federal law. It applies in every state, but allows the state to pass laws that are more generous to employees in the rare cases in which federal law does not apply. New York State has enacted laws governing wages and hours, and it's contained in Article 19 of the New York State Labor Law. Where the two laws conflict, the employer must adhere to the stricter overtime standard. And in this case, that's the federal FLSA. Article 6 of the U.S. Constitution dictates that federal laws supersede state laws. Section 3A1C of the federal FLSA covers all public agency employees of a state, local government, or an interstate government agency. This clearly applies to the town of Beekman, which is a political subdivision of the state of New York, and its employees are afforded the protection of the federal law. The federal law requires the town to, among other things, pay at least time and a half to employees' regular rates of pay for all hours worked over 40 in a work week. And based on federal FLSA, Mr. Brown was entitled to be paid a time and a half for the 4 hours he worked weekly in excess of 40 hours. This was back in 2017, by the way. Federal law does provide for some exemptions, including the executive employees, administrative, professional, and outside sales occupations. But Mr. Brown did not fit into any of the federal exemptions. There's a fact sheet that you can find on the Department of Labor website that explains all of this. So New York State FLSA is contained in Article 19 of the New York State Labor Law. And it also contains a requirement that employers pay employees 1.5 times their regular rate of pay for hours worked in excess of 40 hours in a work week. This provision does not conflict with the federal FLSA, but does conflict. What does conflict is the fact that New York State FLSA provides an exemption for federal, state, and local government employees. So therefore, New York State, or federal law does not apply to state and local government employees. So because the exemption conflicts with federal law, those employees are subject to the more stringent federal regulations. And I'll give you an example of what I mean. Let's say the federal minimum wage is $13 an hour, but New York's minimum wage is $11. New York employers are required to pay employees the $13 an hour because it's more stringent than the state minimum wage. Because New York exempts local government employees, local government employers are permitted to pay the federal minimum wage to local government employees, which is the stricter standard. So how does this fit into what occurred next? And there was an investigation that was conducted by the Dutchess County Sheriff's Office upon a complaint by a Beekman citizen. And that employment situation was assessed by the town attorney, and all of the proof was given to the Dutchess County Sheriff's Office. It was Detective Wilkinson. And after everything was evaluated, it was determined that federal law applied to Mr. Brown's underpayment of wages. And this investigation was conducted by the Sheriff's Office to uncover any alleged misappropriation of taxpayer funds. Several complaints were made, and Detective Wilkinson concluded after his investigation that the complaint did not merit any criminal action. No criminal charges were ever charged, and the complaint went nowhere. The town attorney and supervisor willingly met with Detective Wilkinson at Town Hall, provided him all the same documentation that has been given in numerous foils to Mr. DeMasi, and he has those in his possession. Detective Wilkinson was satisfied no crime occurred and the investigation was closed out. I recently attempted to obtain the information from the Dutchess County Sheriff's Office regarding that investigation. I actually did a FOIL request, and I was advised by the Records Division that no documents actually exist that were responsive to my FOIL, and that was yesterday. So unfortunately, I don't have any documentation from Detective Wilkinson's investigation. However, Detective Wilkinson did retire. I did learn that. So unfortunately, I will not be able to talk to him about what happened. So, but suffice it to say, the investigation was closed out without any criminal action, and the town went ahead and paid and listened to the advice of their attorney and paid Mr. Brown because it was actually the right thing to do at the time, and it also saved the town any consequential damages from the federal violations of the FLSA, and it was in the best interest of the town to actually pay that money to Mr. Brown because it was determined that federal law did apply, and he was paid under federal wage law. That's it, really. That's the entire background of the Brown matter.
Okay, thank you, Fred. Okay, so we will move forward. I'll go through the resolutions. Resolution number 1 is an agreement extending the intermunicipal fuel farm agreement between the County of Dutchess and the Town of Beekman. The maintenance department and the building inspector uses that facility for gas. And when we requested the 2025 agreement, the county realized that they did not have a 2024 agreement in place. So this is the 2024 agreement. Resolution number 2 is a settlement of the tax cert regarding Sugar Maple Farms. It had been sold, and due to the sale, there was a tax cert. Is there anything that you wanted to add to the tax cert?
No, there was a sale that took place in December of 2022, and it was for $12,200,000, which is a recent sale is the best evidence of value, and the assessment was greater than that number, and it was determined by the assessor and myself would be in the best interest to lower the assessment to the sale price of the actual property from December of 2022, and that's exactly what happened.
Okay, thank you. Resolution number 3, we're rescheduling one of the December Town Board meetings to December 11th. Resolution number 4 is we're amending and adopting the final 2025 budget. Resolution number 5 is authorizing the creation of a capital project for Town Hall building improvements. First, we have to create the capital project, and some of the items that we're looking at doing is correcting a lot of issues with the HVAC downstairs, as well as the carpeting. When we looked at the carpeting, it almost looks like the carpeting hasn't been replaced since the early 1980s. So that definitely needs to be updated. Resolution number 6 is authorizing us to go out to bid for the HVAC system improvements at Town Hall. Resolution number 7 is amending the capital project funding for the permanent improvements for the rec center swim pond, and we will be using ARPA funds for that particular project. Resolution number 8 is to review the town of Beekman's cable fees and utility expenses. It is a company, Troy and Banks. They evaluate if we've not been charged adequately for any of our utilities and our cable franchise. If no money or credits are recovered, no fees paid. And this will assist in us going forward because in 2026, we start the renegotiations for the franchise for cable that expires in 29. And that was Troy Banks. And resolution number 9 is to close the highway garage improvement capital project. That was for the garage roof, and we're done with that. And then resolution number 10 is payment of claims. And we have no one signed up for agenda items. So do you want to start, Mercer?
Yeah. Whereas the town of Beekman purchases gasoline through a bid issued by New York State Office of General Services, NYSOGS, and whereas the town and county have a joint agreement in place to provide storage space in its fuel farm system so that the town of Beekman's gasoline can be stored and dispensed as needed, and whereas the town wishes to extend this contract through December 31st, 2024. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Beekman authorizes the town supervisor to sign the change order dated November 8, 2024, extending the agreement through December 31st, 2024.
I will second that.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Capillari?
Aye.
Councilman Benalini?
Aye.
Councilman Limak?
Aye.
Councilwoman Warman?
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci?
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Okay, this resolution is to authorize the settlement of a tax certiorari proceeding regarding Sugar Maple Farms. Whereas there is now pending in the Dutchess County Supreme Court a tax certiorari proceeding commenced in 2023 by Sugar Maple Farms LLC regarding certain real property located in the town of Beekman and designated as tax map numbers 132-200, 675800, 421355, encompasses 5445 Sugar Lane on the official assessment map, seeking a change in the tax assessment for the property as shown on the 2023 tax assessment roll. And whereas the town assessor and town attorney have recommended a negotiated settlement of the 2023 tax review, now therefore be resolved that the town board of the town of Beekman hereby approves a settlement on behalf of the town of Beekman of the tax review proceeding for tax year 2023 as it pertains to 5-445 Sugar Lane. The assessment roll in 2023 was $11,500,000, revised is $8,210,000. The original ag exemption was $8,346. $8,346,600. The revised ag exemption is $5,952,250. The taxable assessed value is $3,153,400. The revised taxable assessed value is $2,257,750. Be resolved that the town supervisor, town assessor, and town attorney to the town of Beekman are hereby authorized to take all action necessary and appropriate to effectuate the terms of this resolution.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Capelari.
Aye.
Councilman Benalini.
Aye.
Councilman Limak.
Aye.
Councilwoman Mormon.
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci.
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Whereas due to scheduling conflicts, the town board deems it necessary to reschedule the first town board meeting for the month of December 2024. Now therefore be it resolved that the first town board meeting in the month of December will be held on Wednesday, December 11th, 2024, and be it further resolved, the meeting will take place at Beekman Town Hall, 4 Main Street at 6 p.m. I'll second. Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Capelari.
Aye.
Councilman Benalini.
Aye.
Councilman Limak.
Aye.
Councilwoman Mormon.
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci.
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Whereas the 2025 tentative budget was filed with the town clerk by town supervisor on September 30th, 2024, and presented to the town board on September 30th, 2024, and whereas the town board reviewed and amended the 2025 tentative budget and filed the 2025 preliminary budget on October 22nd, 2024, and conducted a public hearing on the 2025 preliminary budget on November 6th, 2024. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board approves the following amendments of the 2025 preliminary budget for the 2025 town of Beekman adopted budget, and does authorize the town bookkeeper to make these amendments and present the 2025 adopted town budget to the town clerk for submission to the county of Dutchess. The general fund amendment, the real property tax was an increase of $5,464. The tax increase and penalties was a decrease of $5,000. The interest earnings was a decrease of $464. The building security was an increase of $2,000. Rec and other labor was a decrease of $2,000. MS4 regular expenses was an increase of $20,000. Contingent account was a decrease of $20,000. Dover Ridge Sewer District was the insurance was an increase of $1,000. Other expenses was an increase of $500. General government services was an increase of $1,500. System repairs was a decrease of $2,000. Utilities was a decrease of $1,000. For Dover Ridge Water District, the insurance was an increase of $1,000. The general government services was an increase of $1,000. The special repairs was a decrease of $1,000. And other expenses was a decrease of $1,000.
I will second that.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Capelari.
Aye.
Councilman Benalini.
Aye.
Councilman Limak.
Aye.
Councilwoman Mormon.
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci.
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Whereas the town board of the town of Beekman desires to make HVAC and other improvements to town hall, and whereas the town engineer submitted a proposal to the town supervisor to authorize Hudson Land Design to prepare a request for bid documents for the town hall HVAC, now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Beekman authorizes the creation of a capital project for the HVAC and other town hall improvements for $100,000 with funding coming from the general fund capital account.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Capelari.
Aye.
Councilman Benalini.
Aye.
Councilman Limak.
Aye.
Councilwoman Mormon.
Aye.
Supervisor Cavucci.
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Authorized request to go out to bid for HVAC systems improvements for town hall downstairs offices. Whereas the town of Beekman is looking to update the heating and air conditioning for the town hall downstairs offices to make it more efficient and economical. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board is seeking authorization for Hudson Land Design to prepare request for bid documents for release and response for competent contractors to accomplish this task.
I'll second that.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Capelari.
Aye.
Councilman Benalini?
Aye.
Councilman Limak?
Aye.
Councilwoman Norman?
Aye.
Supervisor Capucci?
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Okay, Resolution 7, amend the capital project funding for permanent improvements to the rec center swim ponds. Whereas the town of Beekman created a capital project fund in resolution number 423-4-5 for the permanent improvement to the rec center swim pond. And whereas the town has been awarded a $50,000 grant for the project. And whereas the town now deems it appropriate to amend the capital project fund sources. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Beekman officially amends the rec center swim pond improvements capital project funding, $200,000 ARPA funds, use and $50,000 grant for a total $250,000.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Capillari?
Aye.
Councilman Benalini?
Aye.
Councilman Limak?
Aye.
Councilwoman Norman?
Aye.
Supervisor Capucci?
Aye.
Resolution
Whereas the
passed.
town of Beekman received proposals to review and audit the authenticity of the town's cable fees review and utility expenses on a no-cost or out-of-pocket expense, and whereas the town financial consultant was able to negotiate better shares for any refunds recovered of savings recovered, now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Beekman hereby authorizes the town supervisor to sign the agreement with Troy and Banks, Inc. for cable fees and utility telecom bills audit.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Capillari?
Aye.
Councilman Benalini?
Aye.
Councilman Limak?
Aye.
Councilwoman Norman?
Aye.
Supervisor Capucci?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Resolution to close highway garage improvement capital project. Whereas the town of Beekman authorized the capital projects fund to make improvements to the highway garage, and whereas the GASB and the GAAP best practices recommends the official closing of capital projects by the governing body, and whereas the following capital projects summarized and determining to be complete and now should be officially closed, approving the disposition of expended funds, the capital project improvement description would be the highway garage roof. The project budget is $530,000 or $530,337. Final expenses is $515,757. Expended balance is $14,580. Disposition of unexpected balance is going to return to the general fund capital account. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Beekman officially approves the closing of the above capital project with the unexpected funds returning to the general fund.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Councilman Capillari?
Aye.
Councilman Benalini?
Aye.
Councilman Limak?
Aye.
Councilwoman Norman?
Aye.
Supervisor Capucci?
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Whereas the bookkeeper has audited and approved claims pursuant to Section 119 of Town Law set forth in the attached abstracts, be it resolved that payment therefore is hereby authorized as follows. Claims to be paid from the A General Fund, $139,121.90. Claims to be paid from the DA Highway Fund of $97,565.97. Claims to be paid from the SS Dover Ridge Sewer, $9,185.70. Claims to be paid from the SW Dover Ridge Water, $36,259.85. Claims to be paid from the T Trust Fund, $4,961. Claims to be paid from the H Capital Fund, $18,558.93, for a total of $305,653.35. Payroll number 23 paid on 11/7/2024. General Fund, $35,351.59. Highway Fund, $26,470.32, for a total of $61,821.91.
I'll second.
Town board discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Capillari?
Aye.
Councilman Benalini?
Aye.
Councilman Limak?
Aye.
Councilwoman Norman?
Aye.
Supervisor Capucci?
Aye.
Resolution passed.
Okay, we will go to public comments. I just want to remind everyone that the next town board meeting is going to be Wednesday, December 11th at 6 p.m. And Mr. DeMasi?
D.D. DeMasi, Senior, First off, I want to say, I don't know Greg Wallace. I met him once. I met his dad years ago with Saul Casal. His dad has an excellent reputation. You can do a deal on a napkin, and that's how it's made. I don't know Greg. But Greg was talking about me. Now, I got questions. There has never been an investigation done because I foiled the Dutchess County Sheriff's November 16, 2023, May 14, 2024, April 25th, 2024. They all come back. There was no investigation done, period. And then I also have a question that if Greg Brown was legally and honestly owed $40,000, then why wasn't the resolution saying Greg Brown was owed $40,000 for overtime or whatever? It doesn't. Anybody answer that, please? No. So anyway, Greg Brown has received quite a few extra checks. January 14, 2016, net payroll $1,266.71. Extra payroll check, January 14, 2016, $896.58. January 12th, regular check, $1,275.18. Extra check, $693.02. March 9th, 2017, regular check, $1,439.80. Extra check, $259.28. July 13th, 2017, $1,439. Then we have another check here. Someone changed the $1,400 to $2,400. I don't know who did that. And then you have another check here, regular check, $1,584. The other check, the extra check, that was $40,000. The net was $14,926.99. December 28th, regular check, $1,584. Extra check, $930.72. Now, he's had all these extra checks. So why is he getting this other money? There is no documentation, and I've asked Detective Jeff Wilkinson and Sergeant Jerry Pfizer, and they said they talked to Paul Ackerman, and I said, well, let me see the proof. There is no proof, because he didn't deserve the $40,000. If these guys did a regular investigation, they would show there was enough $40,000. What I firmly believe, and I'm saying it online, on tape, that you have all these attorneys involved, Ken Stanger, Paul Ackerman, Michael DeFecchio, Dave Sears, Dan O'Neill, and board members, and you're all in bed together, you all belong to the Good Old Boys Club, and I firmly believe that the Dutchess County District Attorney's Office, current and past, Dutchess County Sheriff's Office, current and past, the New York State Troopers, current commander and past, and the comptroller are a bunch of cowards. They're all in bed together. They're a bunch of cowards to do any real investigation. Because if they did a real investigation, they would show that Greg Brown did not deserve this $40,000. I'm trying to find out why he was paid the $40,000, especially after I just read all these other checks, extra checks, from January 14, 2016 to December 28, 2017. Can anybody please answer me? If Greg Brown honestly was paid that money, why isn't he in here explaining it to him? Or why was this resolution that was read by NGO and it said that the $40,000 was going from the consultation line to the playgrounds, when that was a bald-faced lie? There's no question about it. You never denied it. So my feeling is that our government officials, the district attorneys, the sheriffs, the troopers, they're all a bunch of cowards. You're all in bed together to protecting one another on these shady, dirty, dishonest, lying, crooked, dirtbag deals. That's my feeling.
Thank you.
And Greg, I have no problem mentioning, but next time, please, mention my name. I have no problem. And as far as Greg, I don't know him, but every time I spoke to him, twice, he was no less than a gentleman. Thank you.
Thank you. Holly Odell?
Hi, I had hoped to have something in writing, but I hadn't gotten time to it. But there was something that bothered me from the last meeting that I wanted to weigh in on. The last meeting, several people mentioned about the minutes to the meetings not being online the day after the meeting and not being complete. And that kind of bothered me because you read your resolutions, they're very detailed, a lot of information, you're reading from a sheet of paper. I just wondered, does Laureen get those sheets of paper? Or does she have to remember them and report on them? And then they have to be approved, if I recall, through Mary before they can be, the minutes can be put out there, which of course isn't going to get approved. But the reason it concerns me is because a friend of mine and myself went down to help Lorraine during tax time because it's a lot of work. And of course, we know that she got her full-time person taken away and been given a part-time person. And just by seeing what's going on down there was always a town board person looking in a doorway, listening, or happened to come by to see, to report back who's saying what, who's doing what. So I know you all have extra time, but as a town, as a resource, are you allowed to go help out another town board person that needs a hand, or are you supposed to just report back and just listen in and see what's going on? Because it seems to me like there's a lot of intimidation going on. It seems to me like us being there to help, of course right away there was a cease and desist order. She can't have anybody helping her. And I saw the workload she was under. I saw how she was jumping up and down all day long doing the town clerk stuff, and there was a mountain of tax stuff to do. I don't know, maybe we shouldn't have been working there. We could have gotten a paper cut and sued the town or something, but to me, that's a waste of our money to pay somebody to put out a cease and desist order. To me, it's the town board, the fact that they would not, I mean, all I hear is A. Does anybody ever question anything? Does anybody ever, or are we all intimidating, just afraid of being intimidated? It just bewilders me, it really does. Because I see the workload that Lorraine's under, and yet she keeps a pleasant disposition, and she impresses me with all the town stuff. She does all the coat drives, food drives, everything else that she supports, and yet she gets no support from any of you. And I just have to say, even the town board members, I can understand, I know people who have left the town hall because of intimidation and toxic workplace. I know 2 people that have left because they couldn't do it, and I give Lorraine all the credit for dealing with it. But the rest of you on the town board, I hear A. Are you that intimidated? If you run for public office, you should have a backbone. And you shouldn't be intimidated, and you should be able to stand up for things. You shouldn't be spying on each other. You should be saying, hey, do you need a hand? Can I give you a hand? I've got a few minutes. It doesn't happen. Is this really what we want? Is this really what we want in a town? When did you all stop being one of us? You know, because Mary didn't hire the town board. We did. And if anything, this last election shows we, the people, are pissed off. You know, and if this is how it's going to run, I've lived in this town my whole life, my family's lived in this town. We've watched appointees use our tax dollars as their own little private ATM. And I'm sure we're paying through the nose for our insurance now because of it. And to watch the attitudes and it's sickening. I feel like I'm in middle school. You know, and it's just, we can do better. Can't we do better? It's amazing what we could do if we worked as a team, if we worked together, if we worked like we all belong to the town of Beekman, because I don't feel like any of you do. And it's sad. It's really sad.
Thank you. Bill Crane? Bill?
Bill Crane, 254 Gardner Hollow Road. Just a couple comments in honor of Leonard as we approach the holiday season, who I miss. It used to be Leonard and Julie and and I were, and a couple others, Jen were here, the only people. I know that a lot of the comments seem harsh, but I do appreciate the people coming out. It's really good that people are coming out, and that's the way democracy goes, so I hope we all just keep talking, and as the last speaker said, try to work together. We have a Safe Haven Farm Sanctuary. We have a party for the turkeys. Well, it's a party for the turkeys. It's not a party to come and eat turkey. It's, we feed the turkeys pumpkin pies with cranberries and lettuce on, and it's to celebrate the turkeys as a species. They're really great species. I'm saying the rest of us eat cracked corn, the humans eat cracked corn, but no, but that's a joke, it's not true. We have a nice meal, and you can go on our website, Safe Haven Farm Sanctuary. It's Saturday, this coming Saturday at noon. It starts right at noon because the turkeys get hungry, and people are welcome. It's Safe Haven Farm Sanctuary. Safe Haven Farm Sanctuary. And I'd like to see people there.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Bill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, maybe, okay. Okay, I'd like to wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving, and I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.